today?
Good morning, everyone. How nice.
It's lovely. It's so exciting, Shelley. We can still be having story time with everyone, isn't it?
I love that. Story time at Kindy. Even though Lisa and Shelley aren't there in person, we've got a special session planned for you today.
We do. And we've got a new friend to introduce you to as well, which is wonderful.
I wonder if you know what kind of animal this is. It's kind of big, has a very long neck, and he has a little tail. Look at that.
How cute.
He's got some things here. I wonder if you know what they're called.
Hmm.
He's got some humps on his back. And this camel is called Alice. Alice lives in the library with Lisa and I.
We love Alice, and Alice often likes to come and hear stories. And actually today, Alice is going to hear our story very soon. We also love to sing a song to Alice, don't we, Shelley?
We do. It's all about Alice and how many humps Alice has got. In our song, we're going to pretend that Alice has got 5 humps. So can you get your hands out and show us 5 humps with 5 fingers? Okay. Well, Alice, it's time to sing your song about your humps, and it goes like this.
Alice the camel has 5 humps. Alice the camel has 5 humps. Alice the camel has 5 humps. So go, Alice, go. Boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has 4 humps. Alice the camel has 4 humps. Alice the camel has 4 humps. So go, Alice, go. Boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has 3 humps. Alice the camel has 3 humps. Alice the camel has 3 humps. So go, Alice, go. Boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has 2 humps. Alice the camel has 2 humps. Alice the camel has 2 humps. So go, Alice, go. Boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has 1 hump. Alice the camel has 1 hump. Alice the camel has 1 hump. So go, Alice, go. Boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has no humps. Alice the camel has no humps. Alice the camel has no humps, 'cause Alice is a horse.
No, we know that Alice the camel is really a camel, and she has 2 humps. That's right. So we hope you enjoyed that song today about Alice. We're going to sing that again later on, but not today. We do have a story.
We do, and it's about a friend of Alice's.
A friend of Alice's.
I've got it right here.
Does he have a name called Alice?
No, the name of this camel is Columbia.
Columbia.
Alice, do you know Columbia?
Does.
I think Columbia might be one of your best friends, don't you think, Alice?
I think so. Let's listen to the story about Columbia.
Columbia sneezes a lot in this story. I hope Columbia is okay. I like Columbia's glasses on the front cover, and I can see reflected in them the desert, the sand. I think that's a place that Alice likes to go to. Let's read Columbia Sneezes. I can see all of Columbia's glasses on the page. Columbia Sneezes. And the lady who wrote this book is called Janine Bryan. Here we go. Columbia Camel had 4 knobbly knees and lived in a desert with spiky palm trees. I can see them in the middle of the picture. He had a fine bump where a bump ought to go, right in the middle of his body. But at times he would sing in a voice sad and low. I like all the palms and the watery wells. I like all the moonlight and fresh nightly smells.
I like all the dunes that rise up and then fall. But I don't like at all the sand that is carried by each desert breeze. It tickles my nostrils and fills me with sneeze. Achoo, achoo, achoo. And then, achoo, I sneeze and achoo again. I can even see myself sneezing in the water. The camel would sneeze every morn until night. He'd sneeze in the dark and he'd sneeze in the light. Hope he doesn't trip over in the dark. He'd sneeze till his kneecaps were rattly and dry, till no other sneezers could ever sneak by. But achoo, 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 and then achoo, he'd sneeze and achoo again. You can see him walking past the big bright moon in the sky. I'll walk to a town, said the camel one day. Perhaps city doctors have something to say. So off he went striding the wide desert land. He travelled for weeks across soft yellow sand. And I can see his footprints have gone all the way through the sand. And he's right up here in the distance. And here's all the town buildings. So that's where he's going, to the big city. But he started to sneeze. Achoo! 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 And then achoo! He'd sneeze. And achoo! Again. And I think his glasses even fell off that time. He sneezed so loudly. The first doctor told him to breathe through his mouth, to always look down and to always look south. I'll try that, he thought. Then he went to another doctor. He's the second doctor with the blue. The second said, Camel, I know this is true. You won't ever sneeze if you paint your face blue. Then he went to another doctor. This one's a bird. The third doctor said, if you hum a small song, it will stop all your sneeze as you wander along. I wonder if he'll try any of those. So full of such hope, Camel did as was said, but sneezes still came from his toes to his head. Uh-oh. A-tissue, achoo! And then achoo, he sneezed, and achoo again. And if you look, he's walked along and he's got all the paint dropping off his footprints. And look, he sneezed out all the blue paint. It's gone everywhere. Poor Columbia, what a mess. One day in the desert, around about noon, a traveller appeared from over a dune. There's a person right in the distance. I'm so thirsty, he muttered out loud, and glanced at the sky, which was blue with no cloud. I'll fade right away like a puddle in heat. I'm gasping for water, I'm totally beat. Oh, just can't go on anymore, here's the traveller. Oh, what is your name, Camel? And can you help, please? Uh-oh, but Columbia suddenly needed to sneeze. Uh-oh, a tissue, achoo! And then achoo, he sneezed, and achoo again. All over the poor traveller. He didn't even cover his nose. So sorry, he said. It's this terrible grit, all the dirt. It tickles me so, I don't like it one bit. I'll take you to water, traveller, I know of a spot. Though the trip might be bumpy, I bounce quite a lot. You might bounce up and down by my hump. For hours the pair travelled. The sun beat down strong. The man clung on tight, but the journey was long. Columbia plopped. Sand flicked in the breeze. Columbia knew he was in for a sneeze. Uh-oh. And the poor man sitting on his back. Let's see what happens. A tissue, a tissue, a tissue. And then a chew, he sneezed, and a tissue again. And you can see what's happened. He sneezed so hard, the poor traveller got thrown up in the air, even with his walking sticks. And I'm sure he's going to land and it will hurt. Poor man. The sneeze was tremendous. The man shot up high, then fell with a bump on the ground, hard and dry. You're full of the sneezes. It's sad, said the man. It must be a pain. I'll help out if I can. That's kind. They travelled on further. They ate not a thing. At last they arrived at a deep desert spring. Here they are with all the lovely water. The man drank and drank, but a storm swept around, and Columbia sneezed till he sagged to the ground. Here's all the dust from the sandstorm, and it's making him sneeze really bad. A tissue, achoo, achoo, and then achoo, he sneezed, and a tissue again. And so they both waited until the storm passed. There must be a cure, said the traveller at last. He peered at Columbia's front and his back, then round and around till he'd worn down a track. You can see this is the traveller and he's walking all around Columbia. And here's Columbia in the middle. He's looking all over at Columbia. He drummed with his fingers on head and on cheek, then tapped on his chin and he started to speak. Now, Columbia, here is a thought. Do you think or suppose that your sneezes could happen because of your nose? Perhaps if you drew both your nostrils down tight, the sand would stay out. You know, it just might. Oh, that sounds like something new. I've never tried, thought Columbia. So Columbia twitched his nose this way and that. He stretched both his nostrils and made them really big, and then clamped them down flat. Can't even see any hole anymore. They're all closed. Then turning so he would face into the breeze, he waited, just hoping that he wouldn't sneeze. Minutes passed by and the sand swirled around. Shh! Columbia Camel did not make a sound. He waited and waited. No sneeze came his way. My sneezes have gone, he exclaimed. Hip, hooray! He jumped and he leaped and he cartwheeled about. Oh, he loved it. I'm finished with sneezes! Woohoo! He cried with a shout. He sure looks happy there. For once in his life, his nose didn't run. He thanked the man kindly for what he had done. I think the man's even waving, but that's okay, Columbia. The man in return said, we did what was best. So thank you, dear camel, and sat down to rest. I think the man was very glad he got a drink of water. Then Columbia Camel set off at a pace with a spring in his step and a smile on his face. Looks so much happier. Singing. I like all the palms and the watery wells. I like all the moonlight and fresh nightly smells. I like all the dunes that rise up and then fall. So there's nothing, just I don't like at all. I'm really happy now, said Columbia, and off he went along his merry way into the desert, and even the bees followed him because he wasn't going to sneeze them away. And that's the story of Columbia Sneezes. I hope Alice liked that story too.
Wow, that was a good story about a camel. Can you remember what was the name of the camel? It wasn't Alice. It started with a k sound. It was Columbia. And did you notice how many humps Columbia had? Did he have 5? Did he have 4? Did he have 3 humps? Did he have 2 humps? He had 1 hump. Should we sing our song one more time?
Yes, we could. I would love to do that.
Let's do that.
Got your 5 fingers
5
ready?
fingers up, and Alice is ready too.
Alice the camel has 5 humps. Alice the camel has 5 humps. Alice the camel has 5 humps. So go, Alice, go. Boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has 4 humps. Alice the camel has 4 humps. Alice the camel has 4 humps. So go, Alice, go. Boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has 3 humps. Alice the camel has 3 humps. Alice the camel has 3 humps. So go, Alice, go. Boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has 2 humps. Alice the camel has 2 humps. Alice the camel has 2 humps. So go, Alice, go. Boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has 1 hump. Alice the camel has 1 hump. Alice the camel has 1 hump. So go, Alice, go. Boom, boom, boom. Alice the camel has no humps. Alice the camel has no humps. Alice the camel has no humps, 'cause Alice is a horse.
Oh, no you're not. You're our lovely camel and you live in the library with Lisa and Shelley.
Lovely that, Alice, you could meet all of our kindy friends
Yes.
today.
And we'll meet them again soon.
That's right.
So bye for now.
Bye, thank you for letting us come and visit you today. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.